Hey there riders, MotoJourno Chris here today. As you can see, I'm here with a much older DRZ 400E. This is the E model, the Australian E model as well, so it varies a little bit from the overseas models. And essentially what I wanted to do is I wanted to pick up a WR250R nice and cheap and, kind of make it a project bike and work on it. However, at the end of the day, they just hold their value so well that they were way outside of my price range. So I had to look at some other options which kind of fill a similar niche, and the DRZ 400 is quite well regarded along similar lines. And this is the first time I've actually had a chance to take it out for a proper ride. Essentially what happened is I found one at my local dealership, which I've been going to anyway. They had one which was pretty much one of the cheapest in the state. Obviously, as you can see here, it's a 2005 model. It's pretty rough, but what I wanted was I wanted a bike that I'd be able to do a lot of stuff to myself and kind of get back into, somewhat of a nicer condition and not have to worry about too much as far as riding it and dropping it and all that kind of stuff. So this fit the bill, very, very competitively priced. It was basically the same as what everyone was asking on the private used market as well. So I was happy to pick that up. I picked that up at Moto Hub in Castle Hill, and naturally very much a project bike because it's really quite rough. Unfortunately, my first ride on it, I managed to snap a spoke on the wheel, which meant that I've since got a replacement wheel on the rear, and I'm going to re-spoke that wheel myself as a bit of a learning project as well. And this is the first proper ride I've actually done on the bike, and I've come down a little bit of a trail here. And I'm just getting used to the new tyre on the rear. I've got a Dunlop 606 on the rear to match the front, which is what it came with. And very, very different machine and a lot of work to do and a lot of little things. Each time I kind of look at the bike or I take it for a ride like I did today, there's things that I pick up that I want to fix up. Like I want better mirrors on it because they're just garbage. The dash, the speedo's not working all the time, so I've got my quad lock on with my mobile phone and using the GPS for speedo, which works really, really well, but I want to fix that up. It's way too loud with that exhaust system on it as well. I'll get picked up, no doubt about it. So I'll be looking at a quieter exhaust. I think I might put on an FMF Q4 exhaust. They're well priced and they've got a good reputation as not being too loud as far as these things go. I'm not really worried about power at all. It's just all about learning on this bike and having a bit of a project bike which I can do stuff on. There's some small things done to it. It's got radiator protectors on it. It's got the stock fuel tank. I wouldn't mind a larger fuel tank, but that's something further down the line. The suspension's quite good. It looks like it may have been done by Racetech, but I'm not really sure. However, for me, at my level of riding, the way it is now, it's nice and soft, but perfect for me. And just overall, looking for a nice, really cheap entry-level bike which I can ride 2 roads like this where I can have a little bit of fun on the off-road and then hopefully expand my skills a little bit as kind of time goes on. So I'm going to be doing a heap of stuff to this bike and I'll be doing pretty regular updates, I think, and it'll be really interesting to see kind of where it goes. I'm disappointed that I didn't get my hands on a WR250R. I have to say, having ridden this bike today and kind of comparing it to the WR250R, that Tenere 250R that I rode recently, I would say that the WR250R is a much nicer, more balanced all-round bike compared to this, which is obviously a 14-year-old bike, in not really fully stock form. So it's not a fair comparison. I'm not comparing the new DRZ 400s with the WR250R, but what I am saying is that WR250R was a significantly easier bike to just jump on and just ride everywhere. With this, I was finding with that 120 rear on it, it falls onto the side really quickly. It's a really, really fast steerer, which is a bit unnerving on the road. So something to get used to there, but I'm sure I will in no time whatsoever. Like I said, the suspension's good. The brakes aren't anywhere near as good as they were on the WR. However, it does need new pads on the front. It's got new pads on the rear, and I think I might need to bleed that rear just to get a little bit more bite in it, but not too bad. Apart from that, it's got some grippy grips on it. It's got the hand protectors. I'm not sure if they're proper bark busters or not, but it's got the hand protectors on it. everything else is working. I put some LED indicators on it because the stock indicators on the rear were just barely visible at all, and I had a couple of people almost kind of rear end me because they obviously weren't paying much attention. So they're a fair bit brighter. That was an easy job, and I've got the relay in it as well for LEDs, and I'll probably do the front at some point, but these ones aren't too bad on the front. And yeah, it's just gonna be an ongoing project which helps me build my off-roading skills and you know, adventure riding skills and things like that. The 5-speed gearbox, obviously, I have to say, just today I was riding it around in 4th and 5th almost everywhere. Chunkier engine, it's got a lot more torque down low than that WR250R, but that WR250R revs beautifully right up in through the rev range, so it's a very nice thing to ride, whereas on this it feels like it's got a lot more mid-range and a lot more torque to take advantage of, which can be fun too, but I'll just have to see how I go on the freeway, because obviously I'm going to be riding to wherever I'm going. But yeah, overall, it does need a new sprocket and chain setup, so I'll do that, and I'll think about the gearing. Really, every time I look at the bike, there's something new to do. Really, really cool project, and I'll keep you updated. If you've got any questions, let me know. I do think if you're a first rider and you're looking for a good kind of dual sport motorcycle, this might well be worth considering. I have to say, I rode the DIZ 400 SM a couple of years ago. I loved that bike. That was just such an awesome bike. So this is, you know, a similar kind of machine, but this is obviously more off-road orientated, where the SM is the road orientated version, and you know, you can do wheel swaps and all kinds of things. I'm sure this would handle a lot nicer on the road with a set of road tires on it, but that might be something I do in the future. But as it is now, I think with some dual purpose tires, it should do the trick. Anyway, like I said, if you've got any questions, let me know. I'll be back soon. As always, stay safe out there and have a great one.